Jeez, what? Oh, first thing I say.
I'm gonna just try and fix the camera a little bit here. All right. Well, we're gonna give it a few minutes just to have people roll in if they do want to watch. Welcome. I'm Matt Cooper,
I'm Connor Mack.
and this is our first episode of our pro wrestling podcast, Working into a Shoot. And
Brother. Sorry.
and we're basically just gonna be talking about pro wrestling for the next, I don't know, probably an hour or so. Just kind of talking about ourselves. So we're just gonna give it a minute here just to see if anyone's going to come in and say hello. Just gonna give it a minute or so.
There's somebody.
If you guys have any questions, type it out in the chat. We can answer them now. Non-pro wrestling questions, I guess. So you can just throw it in there, and we might be able to answer it while we're just kind of waiting, chilling out for a second.
Excuse me. Texting my significant other.
Pretty sure they can hear us okay.
Whoever is watching, if you can hear us, please say we can hear you. Okay, they're not paying attention, so
Must be not, no.
I could probably say whatever I want right now. It's been a minute.
Has been a minute.
I'm pregnant.
Stop talking.
Wait to get yelled at about that one.
All right. We're going to give it another minute, about another 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to start. Episode 1, Working into a Shoot.
Woo! So how's your day?
Fine.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just kind of chilling out. Got one
Okay.
person in here.
So what time is this thing on Sunday?
7.
I'll be here. Well, can do that. My hair I need a haircut.
All right. Well, we're going to get started here since we have welcome one, welcome all to Working into a Shoot, as we kind of said before. I guess we'll get started with our first sort of topic for pro wrestling, and that would be how we got into pro wrestling. And I'll leave that up to you to start.
So I guess I got into pro wrestling 15 years ago. No, not 15 years. Maybe about 15 years ago. I was watching TV with my dad. And a commercial came up for a house show in Albany. And The Undertaker was on it. And I kind of asked my dad, because I heard about The Undertaker and asked my dad about him. We started talking about wrestling. And then we watched next Friday night SmackDown. And I just kind of fell in love with it. I watched The Undertaker beat the snot out of Chavo Guerrero, which is always a good time. And went to a few shows with my dad. Excuse me. And that was about it.
Gotcha. So you've been a fan a lot longer than I have.
Yes.
I kind of have an interesting story, kind of a unique story as far as how I got into pro wrestling, where I wasn't really into it until around WrestleMania 25, which was about 2009-ish or so. And that was because I'd never really known about pro wrestling until then. I'd kind of, I knew what it was, but I'd never really watched it or really given it a second thought. I'd seen a few people around middle school, high school, that sort of thing, wearing shirts and everything, but I typically didn't pay them any mind. But then I got to I got to my friend's house one day and I saw he was having a garage sale. His name was Joey, and he was giving away all these wrestling DVDs, and I had nothing to do. I was, I kind of had the weekend to myself, and he's like, "You want to take these before I sell them and watch them?" And it was the DVDs like best moments of Raw over the past. I think it was the 25th year anniversary set. No, that can't be right. They just had the 25th anniversary, 15th anniversary set. And their like the SmackDown 10 anniversary set, something like that. I mean, don't quote me on anything like that, but it was some anniversary set where they were having it was like clips, like this happened, this happened, this happened, nothing really full match wise. And then I ended up finding another one, which was WrestleMania 25 on DVD, and I decided to pretty much watch it in the order I wanted to, rather than the order that the actual show went, and which I think that increased the enjoyment of it a little bit because I feel like the main event should have been the match I'm going to discuss in a few seconds here. But started off with the Money in the Bank. I thought it was great. That was CM Punk's second win in a row. And it just continued from there. The actual main event was Randy Orton and Triple H, which was fine. I didn't really know much about pro wrestling at the time, so I didn't really, any pro wrestling was good pro wrestling at that point. But then, you know, after that match, I only had one match left to watch, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and I decided up to that point, watching through that, those first, I think it was 5 or 6 matches, I wasn't really a huge fan. I was kind of like, this was a cool weekend. I'm not really going to pay much attention to it. And then I had known about The Undertaker before. So, like, I knew who he was, even though I wasn't really into pro wrestling. So I was like, all right, since I know who he is, I'll watch him last. So I watched it, and on those other previous DVDs, it was the best of. So whatever I saw, I never got to see anyone kick out of the tombstone before. And that's what Shawn Michaels did. He kicked out of that first tombstone. And I just, right then and there, I was like, you have me hooked from right then and there. So, yeah, ever since then, I've been a pro wrestling fan. And that's kind of how it all started with me. All right, so that's kind of a little background about how we came to be pro wrestling fans. Um, let's go to kind of, I don't know. What do you feel like would be a good starting point? Promotion, favorite promotion? Yeah, let's do that one. Let's do favorite promotion.
I'll let you go first.
Me? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. My favorite promotion of all time is ECW. Easily ECW. Huge fan. I know it's not around anymore, so that's kind of like you know, my favorite in the past. Obviously, I am a WWE fan. That is primarily what I watch, considering it's very easy to access nowadays with the network. But all time, of course, is that ECW. And then you know, I watch pretty much a little bit of everything, though. I like a little bit of everything. New Japan, Progress, WXW, who actually just lost their big world champion, David Starr, unfortunately. Now that I mention that, but I watch a little bit of everything, so I'm not afraid to watch anything big. Like I loved Okada Omega, like that sort of stuff. So, but definitely favorite promotion of all time is Eastern Championship Wrestling, which later became Extreme Championship Wrestling. How about you?
CZW is my favorite. I'm a sucker for death matches. I just
TOD.
my favorite things. Second is WWE because it's what I grew up on. But
think
CZW, I just love especially the Tournament of Death.
I think everyone grew up on WWE.
Yeah,
I
I mean
think
it's like,
that's like the easiest thing to
well,
get
I mean,
into.
depending what your age is, some people grew up on WCW.
True. Like Charlotte. Did you know that? I actually read Charlotte Flair's book, and she had mentioned how like throughout her childhood, when Rick was in WCW, she didn't know anything about WWE.
Really,
Not a single thing. She only knew WCW at that
talk about
time.
loyalty, Jesus.
So, I mean, it's crazy, but I think now with the network and everything, you're going to see people that want to get into pro wrestling or people that are interested in pro wrestling. They're going to start there, and then as they kind of grow into it, they're going to expand out elsewhere, sort of thing. But no, okay, yeah, that makes sense because I like I said, being an ECW fan, I'm not a huge fan of like the ultra violence of CCW. Like ECW was a toned down CCW, especially obviously not for its time, but definitely now. CCW is a little bit out there, but
I mean, did somebody put like a whole thing of nails in somebody's skull in ECW?
no, I don't think so. I'd have to go back and watch and see what's going on. So, but all right, so that's kind of our favorite promotions and what we kind of tend to enjoy to watch. You kind of got an idea of what we kind of watched from that. So we're gonna kind of get into our favorites now, so that way you guys kind of can understand where we're coming from when we kind of maybe do predictions or reviews of things in the future. That way you can be like, oh, he really likes this person. He's kind of, he's of course gonna vote for this person, or whatever the case may be. So we're gonna start with promo. Favorite promo of all time. I'm gonna start with you. We're gonna go back and forth.
Thank you for. I'm sorry for your loss at WrestleMania, CM Punk and the Undertaker. That's just the build up. Good match. I just think it's my favorite.
Gotcha. Is that the one? That's the one. What, before 29, right?
Yeah,
Paul
where
Blair
Paul
had
Bearer died.
passed away.
Bearer, excuse me.
And he, yeah, I remember that one very vividly. That's one of the ones that I feel was definitely underrated for CM Punk, because when everyone thinks of him, they think of the pipe bomb, which actually just recently happened with Kevin Owens. There was a huge pipe bomb moment, but who knows if that's going to have the lasting impact that CM Punk's did. I guess we're going to have to figure that out. So, my favorite promo of all time, WWE wise that I've seen, I really like the promo that the Undertaker cut heading into WrestleMania 25, where he was talking with Shawn, or he was, taking verbal jabs at Shawn, and he said, sometimes it's hell trying to get to heaven. I thought that was kind of something that kind of stuck out, as something that, wow, okay, you grabbed my attention with that line, because you don't think of those sorts of lines when you think of,
I got a bad taste in my house when it comes to heaven and WWE, especially Shawn Michaels being around.
You mean when Vince McMahon went over on Christianity by beating Shawn Michaels and God in a tag team match? Yeah, that's a.
There will be a
that's
rant. There will be a rant video
Yeah, I was
at some point about that.
That's a
Don't
story
worry.
for another video. But anyway, so yeah, that one really stuck out at me as far as that one goes. I would have to say, besides from that, again going back to the ECW, I really liked Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas's promo when he won the NWA title, where he had won the vacant NWA title. This was Eastern Championship Wrestling before it eventually splintered off from NWA. And he won the title, and he was basically listing off all these guys, all these greats that held that title, and he threw it down. And he's like, no, that's not my belt. The ECW, the Extreme Championship Wrestling belt, is mine. And, that one stuck out at me because back in the 1990s, that was huge. No one had ever, that belt was the holy grail, so to speak, of the pro wrestling world. And to just have it thrown down like that, that's a big statement. I mean, you wouldn't see that today. You're not going to see someone go in and throw down the New Japan belt after winning the New Japan belt and say, no, I want the, All Japan, or I want the Progress Championship more. You're not going to see something like that. Just doesn't happen anymore. So I think that's kind of what drew me in. I mean, do you have anything else, from any other non WWE promos that you think really stand out? I think another one that kind of stood out in July was John Moxley talking about how
Mhm.
the inner workings of WWE. Which, if you guys haven't listened to it, you need to
I
listen
mean,
to it.
ECW was one of my favorites, and a word in between there that I'm not gonna say because
Well,
reasons. Just
well,
not on YouTube.
well.
So yeah, and then I think for next one we should do favorite entrance.
Okay.
And
I'm starting this one.
I mean, if you want.
Um, let's see. Well, we're gonna put the caveat on this. We'll do live and then on TV.
Okay.
And you can't say the same one twice. You have to choose a different one. So I'm gonna start just to give you a little bit of time to think, because I see you thinking over there.
I have two, but I don't know which I want to put in what category.
So I'm gonna say easily for me live, Bray Wyatt with the whole lantern, starry night sky. It's something to witness it on TV. It looks impressive. But when you're actually sitting in the arena where it's completely black except for all the starry night sky, it's just
Yes, that
it's
was actually
awesome.
really because I was with you for one of those.
Yeah, you were with me for the one there, but then I ended up going to Madison Square Garden July 7th of last year, and I ended up because that was the one that the Undertaker was returning to, and I'd never seen him before, so I went and saw him, and he did it there, and like even in Madison Square, you think it's impressive when you go to like a smaller stadium, but when you're in the Madison Square Garden, it's like 10 times better. Like it's the best entrance I think I've ever seen live on TV. On TV, I really like the Undertaker one on TV. Again, it was a house show I went to at Madison Square Garden, so I didn't really get the full experience. That's why it's kind of not one of my favorites. Um, but definitely on TV. And then also, I really like ricochets, especially down in NXT with all the different laser lights. So yeah, that's kind of something that I kind of look forward to. Like I always like seeing, because the entrances make or break a superstar. If you have a really crappy entrance, you could maybe win some people over by the end of your match, but it's extremely hard to do so. So having that entrance that like gets people fired up and ready for your entrance, like for you to do what you do best, that's what really matters. So those are my two. What about you?
TV, and this was hard. TV is Triple H. I've seen that one live because I went to. So they've always, as far as I know, they've always done. So SmackDown, when it was Friday Night SmackDown, and on Thursday was recorded on Tuesdays and then played. So I got a special like thing happen in Albany one night where it was a Tuesday night and they did two shows. So I got to see two full episodes of SmackDown live.
Oh, it was like because maybe they had like a week off or something for
I
like
don't, I don't know. So they filmed like the coming Fridays and the following Fridays.
Okay, I got what you're
So I
saying.
got to
Yeah.
see Triple H twice,
Mm-hmm.
and it was amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's good. It's great on TV. It's great live. But I also got to see the Undertaker enter live against in a cage match against the Big Show, the one where he made him tap out with the Hell's Gate. I was there for that in Albany, and there's just something about the feeling of when the smoke and the fire and it's dark and the lightning and everything. It's just
Oh, I know. Even
insanity.
not even getting the full experience. Just
It's
you
God.
know who he is, and you know what he does or what he has done,
Mhm.
and you feel the goosebumps go all the way up
And
your arm.
and
Like
I mean, first of all, how dare they break the streak? That should have stayed. I will say that should have stayed. That's just
that might be the subject of another video. Who knows? Down the line. I
well,
mean,
that's
this
gonna
is.
be in a rant. Don't you worry. That's gonna. Uh,
I mean, this is literally just.
it's
This is just episode one. This is just getting to know us, I guess, as pro wrestling
and I
fans.
mean, I guess it's just like it's just so cool. I've seen him live twice. I saw him wrestle the Big Show, and then I also saw him in a house show. My first ever wrestling show I went to was just me and my dad, house show. I got to watch him and Kane and the Brothers of Destruction tag team match against like the Big Show and Big Daddy V. May he rest in peace.
Viscera.
It was good. And then that same show, it's a little bit of story time. I saw Batista and Edge. So this is how long ago it was. This is back when Batista and Edge were feuding. originally. So
What
it
was that?
was
2006, 7?
2007.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yikes! Over a
And
decade.
oh my god. They went into the crowd and Batista took like the thing that they carried the popcorns around. They took like the box out and started hitting Edge across the face.
Oh, like the little like paper container.
No, like
things, or-
you know how like they have the popcorns and they have like the box they carry. This is popcorn here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he took that box.
Like
and he
the thing that like hangs around their
yeah,
neck,
and he
and they
just
like.
started like smacking. I mean, Edge won, unfortunately. He was also like twerking in the ring, and it was really awkward because I'm like,
It doesn't sound like Edge.
because I was 10 at the time,
Okay.
so I was like,
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like Edge.
this is back when he was still in his kind of like pervert.
Tweener?
Yeah, I mean, well,
Tweener?
look what him and Lita did live.
I mean, that's true.
So,
I mean, you got a point. So,
but this was before he calmed down. But like, I don't know. And that night stuck with me. I watched Jimmy Wang Yang and Mark Henry, and they were the biggest
Jimmy Wang Yang, dude.
whiff.
Shout out to Jimmy Wang Yang.
Were
This
you
boy's getting married soon. We want you as a party bus driver. Seriously.
for my bachelor's party?
Please. Please.
So there was the biggest whiff. So Mark Henry took a swing. It was that far from Jimmy Wang Yang, and Jimmy went like in the middle of the ring, and everybody's just like boo. And then you hear the referee, you suck from like some 79-year-old woman. It was such a good day.
Like,
All right, but no, like
God.
yeah, not to get off topic, but yeah, the Undertaker because it's just
That's
and
the live
fight-
one, right?
I was on the other side of the arena.
So like facing the Titantron.
So like I was facing
like,
the Titantron,
okay.
and I could feel the heat
Oh
from
yeah.
the fire. It was it was great, dude.
Oh yeah.
It was good.
Oh yeah.
Then again, I know
I believe you.
heat and fire really does feel like now. I know that for sure.
Yeah. Doing your fire and your EMT stuff. Let's see what else we got. Let's see promo, watching, entrance. Let's do top match of all time, current, like within the realm of. Let's say, you know what? Screw it. Let's just do one from each era. So let's do Hulkamania from like 80 to 90. We'll make it a little round off. New Generation 1995. 96 to 2001. Attitude Era. Aggression is like 2001 to 2006. And then from 2006 to now. So 5 different matches. I kind of have a few lined up that I can think of.
Really,
I know, I know. It's
you're putting me in a spot.
I am putting you in
because
a spot.
I love Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, but I also love Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
That's what
match,
I'm saying. Like,
God,
it's hard, especially with the big.
I'm gonna have to go for 2006 to now. It's gotta. Much as I love I love Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is
No.
like,
I'm saying do one for each era.
I know. I'm talking about between the battle of those two.
All right.
I gotta go. I love as much as I love Pete Dunne. I think he's amazing. The man's beefed and he's super athletic at the same time.
Should be WWE champion at some point.
Yeah, he's amazing. But as much as I love that match and as much as I love him, Undertaker and Shawn Michaels will forever be my favorite match.
Which one? 26 or 25?
25. Let's be real here, because it's just I've never had a good attention span when it comes to wrong wrestling matches, but it kept me going.
Oh, I know, dude.
I love it.
Well, if you need, like, if you know a few wrestling matches, but you're not sure where they fit in, you could just feed them to me, and I can check them on the old Google machine there.
Undertaker and Mankind.
Which one? There was like
Hell
a million
in
of them.
a Cell. The
1998,
1998.
right? The one where he gets, woo, right off the like,
1990, Undertaker's first appearance at WrestleMania. No, Survivor Series, his debut.
with the same pay-per-view as the Gobbledygooker. Get in there. Anyway.
From 95 to 2000, 2001 to 2006.
Yep. We'll do like 2001 to 2006.
Undertaker returned against Kane at WrestleMania 20.
That one?
That one.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, call me a freaking bias. I don't care. The 1980 to 1989.
Mostly Hogan era stuff. I mean, got to get my win
Hulk
back,
Hogan
brother.
versus Sergeant Slaughter.
Which one? WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
7?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Not one I would have thought of.
So the reason that being is one of the first wrestling DVDs I ever got was like Stars of WrestleMania, which is a bunch of like the big guys and their matches that they won. And that one had Undertaker versus Randy Orton on it. But the one that was on there was Hulk Hogan versus Sergeant Slaughter. And this was back when Sergeant Slaughter was all anti-American and that whole freaking.
That might be another rant. I might want to do that one because
You
that
mean
was
go
a
for it.
very odd point in
And
history
I
as far as
just
wrestling goes.
no, I take that back. Bret Hart versus Yokozuna.
Which one?
The one
You got a WrestleMania 10?
I don't remember what WrestleMania was.
That was the 90s, my dude. That was the 90s. That's past that. I'm talking like 80 to 89.
Okay, then it's gonna be Hulk Hogan. Yeah, was that 90?
No, that was 1990. Exactly, I think.
Oh, the one where he had
no 91. That was 1991.
When the one
so
where he
that
had
one
a
wouldn't
match
count
before,
either.
the one he had the match before, and then had to wrestle him later in the night for the main event for the world title.
We're talking about who?
Yokozuna and Bret Hart.
No, that was 1990. That was WrestleMania 9.
Damn.
I'm talking like okay, to help you out a little bit. 89, like WrestleMania for 1989 was WrestleMania 5. So WrestleMania 5 and before is where you're looking for. That's what you're looking for. You can talk about the Mega Powers exploding. That was one of them. You can talk about Hogan and Andre.
Yeah, nope, that's gonna be that one.
That one was gonna be mine too. That was easily the best. That was easily the best one of that decade. Or him and Piper with Mr. T and Orndorff for me, because that was like groundbreaking. So that's all of yours, right? You got the
I got all 5.
You got all 5. All right. So I guess I'll start with mine. I'm gonna start kind of. You did yours kind of backward. I'm gonna do mine kind of forwards in a sense. So I'm gonna go with Hogan Andre WrestleMania 3, or it was Hogan and Mr. T versus Piper and Orndorff at WrestleMania 1, because that was like the main event that launched WrestleMania and wrestling in general, to be as big as it is. So those are definitely mine for that. 1990 to 1995, which is not exactly the new generation era, but pretty close to it. I'm gonna go with, let's see, 1995. Now, you know what? I'm gonna go with Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior WrestleMania 6, 1990. That was like the biggest main event that WrestleMania ever saw until probably the Iron Man match or WrestleMania 10 with Bret Hart. Like that was the biggest main event ever. So I thought that was definitely, first ever double champion too. So I thought that was it was a good, for big guys. This is the big guy era, so you don't really think of technicians.
I'm gonna take mine back.
Which one? What, the one from 1990?
Yeah. Either one. I don't remember what year it was. Either the one that the Undertaker won against in his first debut, the one against Mankind, and I'm going to place whatever time that was with Bret Hart versus British Bulldog at SummerSlam.
That would be your that would be the one that would replace Undertaker's debut. That was 1992 SummerSlam in Wimbledon. That's a good one too. I really do it.
The British Bulldog winning it, the Intercontinental title, and the pop was just insane. Yeah,
insane. Like it was the best. Hold on a second, guys. We have a question. Was it? That's the question. I don't really know what she's talking about.
I'm just seeing this. I don't know how long it's been up there, but shh.
Anyways, if you want to put another comment, we'll answer it. We just don't really know. Just tell me exactly you're referencing.
Which one are you talking about?
So I'm just gonna continue until we get our question back from Sarah in the comments. So,
and if you're asking who Sarah is, she is my lovely fiance that I'm going to be getting married to. What's your favorite match of all time?
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get to that.
Hold off. We got you. promise.
From then 1990 to 95, I got that one. And then 96 to 2001, my favorite match is, oh god, see, you kind of took mine, but like it's also not 100% my favorite. I don't know. See, the 1990s were a very odd era for pro wrestling. Nothing really ever got finished in a sense. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like
sorry,
it always would break down in like a giant brawl or something like that. And while entertaining, it wasn't really huge on wrestling. But if I had to pick one, I would have to pick Austin and The Rock at WrestleMania X7. It was just beautiful. The ending aside with the shaking hands with Vince McMahon, it was absolutely a 5-star classic in my opinion. So past that, 2002 to 2000, what was it? 7? What did I say? 2007?
2006.
6. All right, 2002 to 2006.
You said 2001 to 2006.
That's what I meant. Because
Jesus.
WCW ended in March, so and that's what I was going for. So yes, rest of 2001 onward. My favorite pro wrestling match from that era would have to be Kurt Angle Brock Lesnar Iron Man match on SmackDown 2003. It was fantastic. It was an hour long, but it doesn't feel like an hour long. I'm a sucker for long matches too, so that was really good. And then from 2007 to the end, right? That would be the last one. Mike, sorry about that, guys. And then it would have to be the, he just saw it, by the way. Someone commented Brock Lesnar in the in our chat.
The one
just kind of
person
found it funny.
who's watching right
Live.
now.
Who's watching live,
Live, yes.
right now. But anyway, it would have to be Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25, because again, you know, it's just, you know, it's just something I've always watched, and you know, I watch it all the time. So, all right, well, we got 2 more favorite matches to list. We'll do favorite outside of the WWE. If you want me to start, you can. Outside of WWE.
Will Ospreay versus Ricochet. You know, Pip Terrio. That one.
Wait, the Best of Super Juniors one?
Yes.
Okay.
And
yeah,
then
the controversial one that like
the one where Jimmy Havoc
rage.
won the Tournament of Death.
I have that on DVD actually. That's a good one. Anyways, mine would be Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada 2. Absolutely phenomenal match. I think it was an hour and a half draw. Spoilers, hour and a half draw. But
by the way, she didn't mean to spell that wrong either.
Well, she did, and we left, so it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, all right. So now that everything's out there for everyone to, you know, listen to or see or watch or whatever. Both. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna pick favorite match of all time out of the 6 that we listed. You have to pick one. What is your wrestling match? Mine, undoubtedly, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. I have to agree. Yeah. I'm just a sucker for it. I'm completely biased. And I'm
completely biased as well. It is. I'm not gonna lie. Like
100% biased there, but she's talking trash in the comments right now.
You're hurting my feelings. You could like stop doing that.
All right, so we'll post the question to our one viewer right now. What's your favorite wrestling match of all time? What are you doing? Oh, John Cena.
No, that's not a match.
That's a great match.
well,
John Cena. Oh, love it.
Hello, other viewer. You can't see.
You can't see.
Yes, we know we can't.
Wow, dude. She's trolling us hard right now.
Other viewer and the other person left.
Anyway, all right. We're going to get back on track here. We'll do favorite women's match of all time. Let's do women's match of all time. You first or am I first?
Bailey versus Sasha in the Iron Woman match.
Mine's close. It's the one at Takeover Brooklyn, which is by far superior.
You're welcome, by the way, for getting into women's wrestling.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yes, I know. I know. Like that's a story. So back in the day when I used to start watching wrestling, it was about 2003, 2010-ish.
What?
2003. Whoa! I mean, I probably watched a match here or there in 2003, but I meant 2009,
That's a
2010. That's a blooper reel.
big
Anyway,
gap. No.
we have a question from the audience
What's up?
before we continue.
What is your
What's up?
question, person? If the other person watching, if you want to get in on this, please don't hesitate.
Yeah, you can ask us any questions. Hell, feel free to pop in the.
What about Rhonda?
What about Ronda? Like, do we like Ronda Rousey as a pro wrestler? I mean, I don't think she was all that bad. I thought she was pretty good. Just to answer that question, I didn't think it was all
I
that
don't know how I
bad.
feel. It's tough.
I don't. Okay. Okay. Here's my thought on it. I thought it was definitely a noble thing to do coming from UFC to WWE.
Yep.
But I don't think that it was as. Oh, did she have any good matches? Well, yeah.
Woo!
I'm trying to think. Like, what would you say would be the highlight? I'd say her first match at
Yeah, when
WrestleMania
she was
34,
tagged up with Kurt Angle
and Triple H versus Triple H and
Shane.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
That one was probably the best
Stephanie.
one.
I said Triple H and Shane.
That or the one that she was in at I want to say SummerSlam, but I don't think that's
What about
right.
this past WrestleMania with Becky Lynch and Charlotte?
That was good, but a lot of people are gonna be like, yeah, it was
Okay,
WrestleMania
I'm trying to remember
35
if
main
it was-
event. But that one's gonna be kind of marred in controversy, not for like the wrong reasons. It was just kind of like I don't think it was supposed to end where it did end. So, anyways,
Ignore her.
so it didn't end the way it was supposed to end, and it just kind of devalued the whole thing. But other than that, it was really good. I thought she did good for being a person that really didn't have anything to do with pro wrestling, in my opinion, before coming to. I mean, it's different when you have someone like CM Punk go to UFC. That took a lot of guts, even though he got absolutely squashed twice by nobodies. I still give him a lot of credit because he did something I wouldn't do. So, but anyways, that's kind of a little side tangent outside the question. But back to my story. Women's wrestling, women's pro wrestling. Around 2009, 2010 is when I started watching. I stopped watching the women's matches after about probably 3-4 months of television. They weren't all that interesting back in the day. I mean, you had Kelly running the roster, which, yeah, I mean, it was the eye candy era, what I call it. It was the eye candy era. It wasn't the women's wrestling era. But so yeah, I would skip them for a while, and one day, out of the blue, had to have been what, August something in 2015.
Mhm.
You come to my house and you're like, dude, we gotta watch this. We gotta watch this. And I was like, what is it? And you said it's a women's wrestling match. And I was like, why? And he goes, just watch. It was Bailey Sasha take over Brooklyn, and as soon as the match was over with, I never have missed a women's segment or match on Raw or SmackDown since then. Not one single one, because it made me realize that WWE was going in a new direction. You know what I mean? They were actually caring about women's wrestling, kind of like TNA. That's why it was hard to watch WWE for me, because I would watch these matches from TNA, the Knockouts division, and they were great wrestling matches. Sure, they had some eye candy people in there, but it was great wrestling. I think that's why I kind of gave up, but they brought it back, and it's my favorite women's match too of all time. And they got a bad rap, losing to the Iconics at WrestleMania 35, but that's what it is. How about you?
I already said it.
No, but why?
Oh, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's the match that really kind of showed me that they were taking the step in the right direction. I guess that was probably it.
The that's the Iron Woman match, right? That's
Yes.
the one you're
Yep.
talking about. That was good. That was really good. I haven't watched the full thing all the way through. I'm like shocked I've never watched the full thing all the way through. But I know I have to because
Really
I've heard it's
good.
like great. I mean, I'm a sucker for the Four Horsewomen, so
Yeah, literally. Oh, why? Sorry.
so yeah. So that's the women's matches. I guess we kind of already divulged to. Well, no, you didn't really.
Let me check.
I kind of said my
20
favorite women's
minutes.
wrestler was Bailey.
Oh,
So
mine right now, Becky Lynch.
cop out answer. Everybody loves Becky. Hell, I love Becky Lynch
I've
right now.
liked Becky since she started.
That is true. I'll give you that. Fair
So
enough.
fight me.
She's great. Again,
Um,
sucker for the Four Horsewomen. So
let's see. What's next?
we
Top.
have a few more things. We have like top 5 current wrestlers. We could do that, or we could just do top 3 if you want to make it a
Let's
little
do
easier.
top 3.
Okay.
Pete Dunne, number 1. I took Aleister Black, Ricochet.
Okay.
Actually, Pete Dunne,
That's not a bad
Pete
list of
Dunne,
people.
Okada.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
take
All right.
Okada and John Moxley.
Yeah, that was coming.
Yep.
Yeah, that was coming.
So
I would have to say for me, top 3 current. AJ's my number 1. Probably always will be. At least until he retires. Then he's not really current anymore. But I really love AJ Styles. I've liked him ever since he started in TNA. I mean, I've followed him the whole way through, but it was surreal seeing him at the Royal Rumble, and ever since then I've been a huge AJ fan. Second, I was gonna take Okada, but since you took Okada, I'm gonna take Kenny Omega from AEW. I just absolutely think he is one of those people that if you actually go on the network, they have a hidden gem, and it's him cutting a promo as like a I don't want to say rookie, like he wasn't like a rookie, but he was like relatively new. He was in the developmental system, that's what I'll say. And he was cutting this promo, and it's like, how did they miss this guy? You know what I mean? Like it's one of those weird coincidences where it's kind of like Drew McIntyre. It's like they left, they got even better, and it's like, how did they let this guy go? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, Drew's back now, but it's a little bit off topic. But and then number 3 would have to be uh hmm, I've really been digging Darby Allin as of late from AEW. Also, he's an English wrestler. If you've never seen any of his stuff, he's actually really good. A lot of people tend to overlook him, but he is really good at doing what he does. So that's that one. I'm trying to think. We've pretty much covered all of the wrestling part of this wrestling podcast. I mean, let's see. Has there been anything going on in July that we really wanted to mention?
not really.
I'm trying to think what was. Let's talk. No, Fighter Fest was June. Um, I mean, it's very early July, so I guess we could get away with talking about a little bit of the June stuff. So let's talk about Fighter Fest. What were your thoughts about Fighter
I
Fest?
thought it was really good,
I thought it was really good for a free show.
dude.
I thought it was super
John
good.
Moxley versus
Joey Janela, the bad boy. It's great.
when
Great.
he threw his feet onto the thumbtacks, I
It
lost my
was.
mind.
It was. It's one of
Uh
those like. It's one of those spots that you can look at, and it's like, ow, that hurts, but you can't look away
yeah.
because it's like, why?
Oh, by the way, that's what I'm talking about. I'm a sucker for matches like that. That's uh,
Let's see. Anything else? I mean, I thought it was great too. I mean, I thought it was cool that the first AEW pay per view was like $60, and then Cody was like, "I realized that was way too much to charge for a pay per view,
Mhm.
so here's this one free." In fact, actually coming up the Sunday, like this Sunday, as of us actually streaming this, is going to be Fight for the
I
Fallen,
thought it
which
was
is
tomorrow.
no Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday. Or no, it is tomorrow. Sunday's Extreme Rules. My bad. Saturday, as of this recording. Um,
tomorrow.
yup. And that's Fight for the Fallen. That's gonna be free. But the cool thing is that if you want to donate, they're actually doing a donation thing because it's all the proceeds are going to benefit people that have lost their lives or loved ones that have lost someone in any I don't want to say domestic shooting, but like the Pulse nightclub and like gun violence.
So
Gun
active
violence.
shooting,
Yeah,
mostly.
more like it's gun violence in general, but yeah, you get the gist kind
Yep.
of thing. And so I thought that was really cool. That was a really cool thing to do, especially because he didn't have to do that. He could have charged $60 for Fighter Fest, and no one would have probably batted an eye at it. But
Because they've been doing really well
they've
with
been
these
doing
matches.
insane. This is going to be a great wrestling promotion.
Cody Rhodes is a genius. Hello, other person viewing. Please say hello. Are you a fan?
Comment down in the chat.
Or are you just somebody who randomly clicked on the video and wondering why two ugly guys are telling things about wrestling?
Or why we're even talking about wrestling and not something.
Or why we're sitting in the basement? And they're gone. Get them away. What if these are like random people that we don't know?
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever. So other things in June/July. That's one of the things that we're gonna try and do with this podcast. We're gonna try and give our thoughts on recent happenings. You know what I mean? Like every month or so, we're gonna do this podcast, and we're hopefully just gonna kind of recap events. Like we probably won't do like week by week reviews because neither of us can commit to that at this point. Me being in school and him recently going back to school, right? Aren't you technically in school now?
I mean, I'm in a academy style class. I
So
guess.
we're
I
gonna
mean,
try and
if
do
you
this
wanna,
every month.
I don't wouldn't count it. I'm taking an EMT course.
So, but yeah, like
we'll try.
that's why we're trying to come up with some more recent stuff, just so we can discuss those. The wild card rule, that's not really necessarily new, but it's kind of gone downhill since its inception. And yeah, no one
Kinda
follows it
worked out for
anymore.
you with Glens Falls.
What do you mean?
AOP.
They were on injury. They don't count. They're not true wild cards, but
Okay.
trying to think what else is happening. Stomping Grounds. That's something. I thought Stomping Grounds was relatively okay. I don't think it was the best show of the year, but it probably won't be the worst. It probably won't be the worst. I mean, I actually stopped watching after
I
probably like 2-3 matches to go because it was like watching just SmackDown.
Yeah, we went to watching we went to playing Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, we ended up playing Star Wars Battlefront. But other than that, I went back and actually watched the rest of it, and it was actually pretty okay. It wasn't.
I got a topic for you.
Too
When you
bad.
got a sec.
What do you got?
Worst wrestling match we've ever seen.
Oh, you got one? I gotta
You?
think. No, I gotta think.
I'm sorry, but Great Khali. No, excuse me. Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton in the Pajami Prison match, where they brought back the Great Khali one night,
And then he left. Wasn't that when we did our 100 chicken nugget challenge?
yeah, and I basically threw him up after watching that match.
Thanks. Didn't need to know that. Neither did our viewers.
Sorry,
But
normal conversation topic. Where does that seem?
Let's see. Worst match I've ever seen. The Reverse Battle Royale. Now, if you don't know what that is, okay, TNA at the time was trying to do pretty much everything different than WWE was. So a traditional battle royale, you take the person and you throw them over the top rope and both feet hit the floor. That's a traditional battle royale. No, not this one. Everyone starts on the floor and you're trying not to get thrown into
How does that
ring.
work?
I don't know, but Dave Meltzer, again, and I know that's probably going to stir up some crap that I mentioned Dave Meltzer, but he rated it -5 stars, I think, for a reason. So yeah, it's kind of the worst one I think I've ever watched. I tried watching it for the memes, but even like
Was it
memeing
like
it, it was
was
like
there like the really bad one where the guy like hit him with a nice uppercut and he just went flopping over the kind of like Batista did?
kind of, but like it was weird. Like they were fighting on the apron, trying to throw each other over. They were like on the apron like this.
Oh,
Try
okay.
like for 10 minutes, these two people just stood there. And all they were doing is just grabbing each other on the shoulders, trying not to go tumbling, and then they tumbled over into the ring. I'm like, well, they're in the ring. Guess they lost. Like it was something to behold. But
Um,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Favorite botch of all time.
Oh jeez. That's a whew. That's a tough one because there's some good ones out there. There's some good ones out there.
What about Titus O'Neil slipping and falling
Well,
on him?
that's the greatest one of all time, but like they took it and ran with it. I want to think of one that didn't become a meme afterwards.
I guess mine is Jimmy Wayne Gang's, Mark Henry, the whiff. Because I saw that live and I was just like,
I love the one
disgusted.
where like Jeff Hardy went to hit like a twist of fate on Jinder Mahal in Saudi Arabia. He completely missed, and Jinder is just like he just kind of like went, just like fell
So
over. Like
So basically, he went. No, it was not a twist of fate. It was whisper in the wind.
that's the one. That's the one.
And like he stood up. Jeff hit the ground like right here, and Jinder just goes.
Yeah, like he like there was a sniper in the crowd and he just kind of popped them. Like he fell right over. Like for real. Like
That's a sensitive topic.
why? It's a joke. Relax.
I know. I'm taking.
Relax, kid. It's all right, kids. That's why it's called working ourselves into a shoot. Anyway,
His name, not mine.
I'm trying to think. So that's pretty much all that we have as far as wrestling. So now that
Not sponsored.
now that
by
we've
the
kind
way.
of done a wrestling podcast, we're gonna kind of take the rest of this 10 minutes or so and kind of talk about other interests, just to see, for those people that get to the end of the video that want to see more, can kind of, make a comment on this video when it actually gets posted to YouTube, about what you guys want to see from us. I mean, you kind of got the gist from like our introduction. It's going to be video games, pro wrestling, and football. But
Wow. Good one.
but yeah, I mean that was kind of vague. So we're gonna kind of talk about what we're doing, and Connor's typing in the chat right now. Okay.
She's probably laughing at me.
So
you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, you can go first.
So I'm a huge college football fan. Iowa is my team. And I guess to go back to what we talked about earlier, like I do like fighting, not as much as I did. I really got to get back into it. I haven't really been into it, and I apologize for everyone who knows about that. Um, don't really have an excuse. It's just something I need to get back into. I need to start whipping myself back into that, if for lack of a better term. And but it's something I love, something I've enjoyed for a while. Done it for about 4 years now. So I guess like if you want to see like a review on like a light that I have, or like you want to like see what my gear looks like. If you're taking a Fire 1 course and you have a question, maybe I can like answer it and try to explain things in a video. So that's like one of my favorite hobbies. But I love college football, and when college football comes around, you're gonna see me like rant about Iowa like a lot, because they 1 week they'll go
Gear
out
up
there.
for that one, kids. Gear
Well,
up
it's
for
gonna
that
be
one.
it's gonna be bad one, because like 2017, 1 week they go out there, they
Yeah, basically
God
college.
forbid they go out there, they beat Ohio State by 31 points, and then they lose to Purdue.
Anyways, that's a subject for another video.
It's gonna
more
be
around
bad.
college football
It's gonna be
season,
like
but
terrible.
you get the gist.
Unless they win the national title, like expect me to be bad. Although I do love them, Nate Stanley, amazing quarterback. Let's see, what else do I like?
Well, you have an Xbox 360
I'm
and an Xbox
guy.
One. I do not. So maybe Halo at some point.
God, yeah, Halo, dude. God,
Like
I love
that's
Halo.
more up your alley. I never really got into Halo, so that's more up your alley.
Halo's awesome.
Maybe some Nintendo stuff.
Yeah,
Could we
probably.
look forward to seeing that?
Legend of Zelda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Trying to think, is there any other stuff? I mean, we'll probably find a co-op game here or there we can probably play and meme.
Call me a fanboy, but Ocarina of Time is my favorite. So say
Well,
what you will.
Anything else they can
Mhm,
expect to see
mhm.
from you
I
in
mean,
general?
maybe if she's up to it, you'll meet my fiance. But other than that,
No, we're
no,
not.
I'm not. I'm saying that I love it.
We're actually not bashing Legend of
I
Zelda.
mean, I never
Well,
do. That's all him.
excuse me, I don't bash Legend of Zelda. I just don't play them. I've never said they were bad or anything. I just don't play Nintendo. I'm not saying they're bad games. In fact, I've seen some people play them on YouTube, and I thought they were actually quite good.
You'll
I
have
just
to play
don't
one with me.
play them.
I have a SNES, and you'll have to come over, and
A
we'll have to play.
SNES?
Yeah.
No, I know what you're talking about.
I bought one of the $80 ones that comes preloaded with 21 games, which is a great investment,
Isn't
by the
that
way.
bootleg?
No, that's the real
Oh,
Nintendo
it's like
thing. Yeah,
legit.
it's
Okay,
legit.
because I know
No,
there's like bootleg ones going around now.
no, it's legit. I bought it like a year and a half ago before the bootlegs. I bought it in North Carolina
Nice.
and drove it all the way back. But I'm not saying where we live.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, we also
trying to
have that
think.
on our Switch
All
too.
right, so that's what they can look forward to seeing from you.
Maybe a little bit of Tecmo Bowl. If you know what it
I
is,
don't know what that is.
well, I'll have to show you when this is over because it is literally the greatest yet dumbest football game I've ever played.
Okay.
It's so bad too, where I'm good at football games, but I lost to my fiance because I mean, so like the controls are weird. It's like you
Is
can't
it
press.
like what type of game? Like,
It's like a Super Nintendo type of
okay,
game. So like you don't have to press like all these buttons to throw the receiver. It's like it picks the receiver and you throw it. So every time I threw the ball, she'd somehow get an interception.
nice. Way to be, way to be. Beating him at his own game.
So yeah, she's
Yeah.
laughing about it. But the thing that sucks is like she we were playing NCAA and in the fourth quarter she came close. Like she did this one play, she ran a run play.
Mhm.
And I would play NCAA a lot too. And she like got like a 50-yard rush and I was like, crap. And you know how good I am at defense. She's like, I figured it out. But I ended up winning by like 20 because like I got to the end and I started like just going ham and
Yeah, yeah.
beating her. But
But
speaking of that,
anyway,
we also brought the Browns to the Super Bowl. That's a great story
well,
time.
that probably won't be featured on the channel. We did that a while ago.
And I got
But
mad. That's why you won. Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, so that's what you can expect to see from him. As far as on my end, I have a PS2, a PS3, and a PS4. So if there's any games that you guys want to see, again, throw them down in the comments on any video. I mean, we don't really have a huge fan base yet, so pretty much anything you comment, we'll probably read. Um, so yeah, any PS4 games, anything like that. I have a bunch of old PS2 games that like some of them are really good. Star Wars Battlefront 2, by the way. And some of them are really bad. Legends of Wrestling. The weirdest control scheme I think I've ever seen for a pro wrestling
Oh, we
game.
get it.
But we can totally play it.
What's the one with the F6?
Oh, 5-star wrestling? No, I don't have that, but we could get it, maybe. I mean, somewhere down the road.
We have to do arena football
But
too.
yeah, I have arena
I mean,
football.
like
That's really fun.
lit.
But so yeah, like you can expect to see those sort of things from me. I'm trying to work out a way that I can start recording video games. So we're gonna try and figure that out hopefully soon and start doing those on the channel. I would say other than those, I really am into hockey. I'm not like super into hockey, but like I know my way around because like I've grown up with hockey. I mean, being where I live and having, literally a hockey team 10 minutes away from where I live is kind of nice. So I've grown up around hockey. So if you guys want any like hockey videos, I can do that. When the hockey season is, I mean, his college football thing is going to be while the college football season's going on, kind of thing, and so sort of a seasonal thing that people can look forward to. Um, I'd say other than hockey, I'm a huge comic book fan. Primarily Ghost Rider. Huge Ghost Rider fan. I'm actually currently working on getting one copy of every Ghost Rider ever made. So if you guys want me to go through, like I have like the reprinted books and stuff like that. So if you guys want me to do like a review of those or anything having to do with that, let me know. Because I'd be more than happy to do it. Also, actually, earlier today we recorded a video that may be going up maybe a little bit later on today, maybe a little bit, a few days from now, is we actually did a food review.
I think it should go up today.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, I think like
We did a food review for Burger King, their new taco. So if you guys want to see more stuff like that, totally can do it. You just gotta let us know what you guys want to see from us and what you think would be good for us to try. Other than that, is there anything else?
I'm all set.
Trying to think, is there anything that I mean, obviously with the video games, co-op stuff, with the sports games, and I probably will when 2K20 comes out, WWE 2K20 comes out, I'll probably put some content on that because hopefully I'll be able to have the video games up and going by then. So I'll definitely put up content like that because I pretty much buy them on release every year just because I really enjoy playing them and I like having the updated rosters and all that kind of stuff. So expect to see that probably in October or so. And also, one of the ideas that we had kind of springing around was doing. They haven't put a GM mode in a WWE game for a long time, so this would be going back to the PS3 with 2008. Is we were thinking it being him, me, and actually one of our other friends. We do a GM mode where it was Raw, SmackDown, and ECW. So one of us takes each brand, and we brand Warfare for an entire year in the game, just as something kind of fun to do with all the trades and everything. And we just thought it would be something, fun. And you guys can let us know if that doesn't really sound interesting, then we don't have to do it. But that's just kind of an idea we were kind of throwing around. Other than that, I think that pretty much does it. I mean, you can expect to see episode 2 in probably mid-August, maybe late August, early September.
No,
In which case, we're probably going to just do a roundup of everything that happened with Extreme Rules, which is coming up this Sunday, Fight for the Fallen, all that kind of stuff. We'll kind of do like a wrap up monthly kind of thing. And also, uh, starting pretty soon, we wanted to do predictions for the pay per views, for the WWE pay per views, but we probably won't start that until probably January. It'd probably be easier to start off in January or to start off right after WrestleMania in April. I know that's kind of far away to be saying that now, but just to kind of get that out there, just picking winners and seeing what happens and, maybe doing some punishments or something if you don't get the most correct in the year or something like that. Just, fun stuff like
fun
that.
stuff.
So,
Like if he loses, I can hit it with my car. Right?
what?
What?
What? I don't know. I don't think so. But
Lightly tapped you. Like how like honked at you one time and you kicked my bumper. Jerk.
No, I didn't kick your. No, I did kick your bumper. I also kicked your tire too.
Yeah, that was at college.
But anywho, I think that pretty much wraps us up for this
Yeah,
live
I think
broadcast
that's about it. It's
podcast
been an hour and
thing.
3 minutes. I want to stand
So
up and thank you for.
so this has been the Mac.
This has been the Coop Stir.
This has been Mac Cooper Productions, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye, everyone.
Bye.